Hi everyone. So in the last module, we covered inserting data into databases, into our own tables, making tables, and so this module or this continuation of that module is basically going to talk about proper table structure, and we're going to see some more commands that we can do with data. And so for this first piece, we're going to talk about how we can start manipulating that data a little more fine-tuned. So I've already kind of set up the database again here. So we have a coding school database, and if we take a look at the data in there, I've already made the employees table, which we saw again last class. And if I do our familiar query, select star from employees, we can see a list of employees that are in that table. And so we've seen that before. And so we're going to talk a bit more about this select clause. Essentially, we learned about how we can select everything, like above, or how we can select everything but only certain columns. So select name and salary from employees. And so that leaves off the position column. We're still selecting everything though, and it's pretty rare that you'll really want everything from a table. Usually you're trying to filter down to a certain subset of data. And so this is where the where clause comes into play. And so maybe we want everyone and every piece of their data. And now we're going to learn about the where clause. And so the where clause can be attached to other queries. We can attach it to the select query, the update query, and delete queries. So for the select query, basically how that goes is we still have our same, we pick all the columns we want to select and from what table, and then we add our where clause to give it a condition. And so in the where clause, it's going to read basically like this: select columns from a table where the information is something. And so I'll show you an example and hopefully it makes a little more sense. So we got name, position, salary. We're really going to look at certain data in those columns. So what if we put where name equals Michael? So if we look here, we've got two Michaels, one who's a manager, one who's a CEO. And if we hit enter on this, we will only get those two rows in the data set. And so that's pretty helpful, right? Not often that you want to get people with the same name, but you can imagine a case where you want to, instead of maybe name, we can do the same thing with any other column. Maybe we want all of the instructors. And so now we are getting the two employees in this data set who are instructors. So that's Sandra and Carlos. And so that's a simple value match, right? So we're saying, hey, match this value exactly. Give me the rows whose values match that. But you can also use different operators to give yourself some more flexibility. So if we take salary, for example, well, maybe we don't want to know an exact salary, but maybe we want to say, hey, we want to get all the employees whose salaries are over 50,000. And so that will return these four rows, leaving off leaving off Rebecca and Shannon, who are only making $35,000. And so, we have our standard operators, so greater than, less than, equal, which we've already seen, equal. You can do greater than or equal, less than or equal. And so you have basic operators there that you can get something of a range. And so that's the where clause. And so we can use the where clause not just with selects, but also with deletes. So we talked about selecting data. We can also delete data. We'll delete from employee. Maybe we have to fire Rebecca. So from employees, where name equals Rebecca. And if we enter, we see one row affected. And so the where clause is super important. In fact, you're never really going to use a delete clause. So now if we do select star from employees, and you see Rebecca's gone, you're never going to use a delete statement really without a where clause, because if you neglect a where clause, just like with select star from employees without a where clause, you're going to not get everything, but delete everything. And so now if we select from employees, we're going to get an empty set. So that's the importance of the where clause and how you can delete certain information from it, or how you can delete certain information from tables using it, how you can select using it, different operators. So that's all we got, and I will see you in the next video.